Well, I just finished watching the last episode of the Book of Boba Fett, Season 1. I hope there's no Season 2. There was no indication that there is a second season. Things ended just quietly with no more fuss. Even the post-credit scene wasn't that exciting. It was just the cybernetics doctor looking over Cobb Vanth in a bacta-tank. A redundant scene, in my opinion. Yeah, if the finale proved anything to me, is that The Mandalorian literally had to come in and save Boba Fett. Not only Boba Fett as a character, but Boba Fett as a series. I give the last episode, the finale of the Book of Boba Fett, an okay grade. I liked it, I enjoyed it, I didn't go crazy over it, but now it's finally over and we can look forward to, I think, much better series, such as the Obi-Wan series coming reportedly in May, and of course The Mandalorian Season 3. I think that's what the fans mostly want. I think that's what I want the most. Every time Grogu and Din Djarin were on screen, I was just giddy. The series starts off as with every other episode. Boba Fett lethargic, Fennec Shand taking charge. Mostly the conversation is kind of boring, it doesn't go anywhere, and that's the problem with this series. They're just exchanging words and not really passionate about what they're talking about, until Din Djarin, of course, comes in and tells Boba Fett about Freetown, about their terms. We see a darker side to Fennec Shand here, where she doesn't agree that spice should be removed altogether, as per the request of Cobb Vanth and Freetown. She thinks that they should take over the spice business for themselves. That was Jabba the Hutt's business. But Boba does not want that to be so. He tells Din Djarin that he will agree to Cobb Vanth's terms of completely wiping out the spice trade from Tatooine. And a big travesty, in my opinion, is that in the finale we didn't get to see the palace at all, we didn't get to see the throne at all, or give Boba Fett the proper send-off. One of the mods, I can't even bother learning his name, he treats Boba as an elite, that he goes up into his palace and retreats, but they will stay and protect the people. So Boba Fett agrees to stay in squalor, in the ruins of what was the Sanctuary Bar at one point in time after he got bombed by the Pike Syndicate. Cad Bane makes his second appearance. He goes straight for the Pike Syndicate boss, where it is revealed that yes, the Pike Syndicate is actually responsible for the Tusken Raider tribe getting wiped out and not the Kinto Riders. However, it was just the Pike Syndicate, not Cad Bane together with the Pike Syndicate, as Cad Bane learns about it just now. After the title reveal in the Name of Honor, we see an X-Wing approaching Mos Espa. I jumped at the chance to watch Luke Skywalker land on his home world once again, seeing him go through the streets of Tatooine. But again, this series is determined to somewhat disappoint the fans, because it is not Luke Skywalker, just R2 riding the X-Wing, and he brought Grogu back into the fold. As I expected, I made a couple of videos about this, that I knew what Grogu was going to choose. We see that definitely Grogu has chosen the armor from Din Djarin and essentially chosen his path, and that is not one of a Jedi. It was weird to see somebody actually refuse a lightsaber, Yoda's lightsaber at that, but Grogu did that. He might just be the first. Of course, they land in the docking bay of Peli Motto, who immediately takes care of Grogu. Next, Fennec Shand informs Boba Fett that they have all the corners of Mos Espa Station and patrolling them. Black Chrysanthemum is on the Trandoshan section, the mods are at the Aqualish section, and the Gamorrean guards are looking at the ports, watching over the ships if more reinforcements arrive. It soon becomes clear that they did not cover every single aspect of the streets, because Cad Bane makes his approach to Boba's sanctuary. I was very excited about this, to see Cad Bane and Boba head-to-head again after probably a long time. You see, the problem is we don't know much about Cad Bane after the Clone Wars and a little after Order 66 by what we saw in the Bad Batch, but as much as Cad Bane entices Boba to fight, to duel, even telling him that the Pike Syndicate killed his Tusken family and not the Kinto Striders, whispering in his ear, Fennec Shand convinces Boba to not fight right now, but fight later on their own terms. What does Cad Bane tell Boba? He tells him that he's become soft with age, and I think at that moment most of the fans agreed. Boba did as well. He agreed that he has gotten soft, as we all do with age. I was half expecting a mention about the dent on the helmet, but that unfortunately didn't happen. When Cad Bane retreat, it is at that time that it is revealed the families actually betrayed Boba and go against all of his henchmen. The Gamorrean guards are killed. Black Chrysanthemum is swarmed. Even the mods were about to be destroyed if it wasn't for Fennec Shand. Now the Pike Syndicate is in front of Boba's sanctuary. Mando and Boba are ready to die. They see no other recourse but to fight head to head, although they are outnumbered. We get a comedic scene, I guess, with Major Domo, who delivers the message, the diplomatic quote-unquote message to the Pike Syndicate that Boba Fett offers nothing. We realize that Boba has sent the Twi'lek as a distraction. At that moment, using their jetpacks, both Boba and Mando fly into the scene and start shooting at the Pike Syndicate. At one point, we see that they gain the upper hand, but all of a sudden, they start to lose it. If it wasn't for their Beskar armor, both of them would be dead. They start to get shot down until reinforcements arrive. Reinforcements in the form of Mos Pelgo's citizens. The people of Freetown come to the aid of Boba Fett, inspired by Cobb Vanth, who the bartender says is dead and that he was shot down in cold blood. Now everybody joins in the fight. We see that Black Chrysanthemum survived the attack, the mods join in as well, and while the Pike Syndicate retreats, now we get a new enemy, a more mechanical enemy in the form of battle droids, with shields to top it off. Their guns are so powerful that Boba and the gang have to disperse. Even their shields holds up as they're firing with all their might and not even leaving a dent. We get a brief cameo of the Darksaber. Din Djarin uses it to penetrate the shields, but it's of no use. There is a scene where Black Chrysanthemum almost penetrates the shield with his cybernetics, but unfortunately the droid is much faster. Now they have split up. One droid goes for the mods and the Mos Pelgo fighters, while the other goes for Din Djarin and Pelimoto, who has come with a carriage, in a way rescuing Din Djarin, but also carrying Grogu, delivering him to the Mandalorian. A beautiful, cutesy moment. Grogu even jumps to hug Din Djarin, although that's not the time for that as they continue shooting at the droids. As all these people are pinned down, earlier Boba Fett went to get reinforcements. He actually said this. When he said this, in my mind I thought somebody will come that we have not seen yet. We are gonna get a cameo because Tamora Morrison said this. Tamora Morrison in the interview said there is a big surprise coming in episode 7 in the finale. Somebody's gonna make a cameo. Nobody really did, and I think Tamora Morrison just got the episodes mixed up or the scenes that he shot because the finale did not feature anybody new, I think. He might have messed up the scenes, I don't know what happened, but I definitely thought that we would get at least Dengar, at the most maybe Luke or Han Solo, Chewbacca, somebody would make an appearance because this is Tatooine, but unfortunately we didn't get any bounty hunters or any major character to come back. We did, however, get the Rancor that was gifted to Boba. He did wreak havoc around the streets of Tatooine. He did a lot of damage as well, I gotta admit. It is the Rancor who finally defeated one of the droids with the help, of course, of Din Djarin, who with his Darksaber penetrates the shield and slices and dices the droid. Before you can finish him off, however, the droid still has the chance to kill Din Djarin if it wasn't for Grogu, who uses the Force on the droid. The other droid has a similar fate, and the Rancor does the rest. With the first droid dispatched, now the Rancor takes care of the second droid as well, and the Pike Syndicate start to kind of retreat, but finally we get another head-to-head between Boba and Cad Bane. Cad Bane intimidates the Rancor so much so that he basically leaves Boba Fett to his own devices. I was kind of shocked at this move. I know the writers wanted to see Boba and Cad Bane be left alone, only the two of them to duel, but the Rancor cowering like that and just leaving Boba Fett, kind of strange and weird, but whatever. But again, finally we get the final duel between Cad Bane and Boba Fett, seeing who is the faster gun. I don't think there is any doubt left anymore. Cad Bane is the faster gun and superior fighter. It's just as simple as that. If he could defeat Boba Fett in his younger days, now Cad Bane is so old that Boba should not have lost this duel. Since Cad Bane shot him multiple times, this leaves the debate to rest. Cad Bane is the fastest gun in the galaxy, no doubt about it. As Boba is laying there awaiting death, Cad Bane approaches. He tells Boba that he is not suited to be a peaceful ruler. He is a killer and he has his father's blood in his veins, Jango Fett. As Boba closes his eyes, Cad Bane's gun is ready to fire, but Boba has one more element of surprise left. Using his Tusken weapon, he removes Cad Bane's pistols, incapacitates him, leaves him on the ground, and finally kills him once and for all. It was not done through blaster fire, but through a more civilized weapon. The final and last shot of Cad Bane, him laying dead on the sands of Tatooine with his hat by his side. Time to say goodbye, old friend. Cad Bane is finally dead. Next, we see that the Rancor has kind of lost his mind. We get a neat reference of King Kong, although we don't get any planes shooting him down. Din Djarin tries to calm him down, but he just gets beaten down badly by the Rancor. It's not until Grogu approaches the Rancor, uses the Force. This Force power is called Animal Connection. The best Jedi to display this Force power was actually Obi-Wan Kenobi. He had a mastery of this Force power, and I hope we see it in the Obi-Wan series, but not to be outdone, it is Anakin Skywalker, later turned Darth Vader, who actually displays this Force power as well, as we see in the comics. With this, the Pike Syndicate has now been basically cut down to nothing. The Mos Espa clans are meeting with the Pike Syndicate boss, together with the mayor. They all get gunned down and killed by Fennec Shand. Again, nothing against Fennec Shand. This scene should have featured Boba Fett taking care of the main baddies, not Fennec Shand. I sometimes wonder that Jon Favreau, Robert Rodriguez, they didn't really think things through. If there wasn't for a Cad Bane, what would have Boba Fett done in this episode? Again, totally destroying the legacy of a huge major character to now build a new one. It's not necessary. Both Fennec Shand and Boba could have gone in and killed all these people. Boba is nowhere to be seen. Fennec Shand is shown to be a superior killer, I guess, but alas, everybody's dead. The clan leaders, the Pike Syndicate boss, and the mayor as well. The final scene features Boba walking the streets of Tatooine, nodding to people who recognize that he is the de facto ruler now of Tatooine, a peaceful ruler that has brought prosperity to their home world. The Vespa gang, Black Chrysanthemum, Boba Fett, Fennec Shand all gather together in the town square. The camera simply pans up to finish off the series. But before it is over, we get to see what we really want, and I think this is what I really want. I want The Mandalorian Season 3. We see that Grogu is asking something of Din Djarin. At first he says no, but then he agrees, and he boosts the speed so that Grogu would feel alive again. He just loves it, and in a cutesy way, this scene ends signifying that the Book of Boba Fett Season 1, and I hope there is only a Season 1, I'm not excited if there is a Season 2. The Book of Boba Fett is officially over, and now we can look forward to The Mandalorian Season 3. The post-credit scene as well is not that exciting. Cobb Vanth is inside the Bacta tank and will essentially survive. I think all these are just placeholders for The Mandalorian Season 3 when Din Djarin eventually comes back to Tatooine, meets up with Boba, the rightful ruler, and Cobb Vanth and so forth. Guys, in a way, I'm very glad that this series ended. I was excited for The Book of Boba Fett, but again, it ended in a very sour note. Boba is not the character that we wanted him to be. The series is not what we wanted it to be. We got some cool scenes here and there, but for myself, it only validated what I've been saying this whole time, that The Mandalorian has surpassed every single character and every single series out there. Until somebody comes and proves me otherwise, The Mandalorian is the series to watch. We're gonna see what the Obi-Wan series does, the Andor, the Ahsoka series. All these series could be better, but right now for me, The Mandalorian is the series to beat. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what did you think about the Book of Boba Fett season in general. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.